Alright, so let's start going through some of these collections of stuff I've got here. So let's look at these Gyarados. And apparently the Lone Dragonite that comes in there as well. And here is our namesake. This is exactly what we're talking about. So Professor Oak was the original guru, the original Pokemon professor who knew everything and imbued his knowledge onto Ash, Ketchum, whatever you want to call him. So basically, this is what this channel is all about. Old school stuff. I have things like this, yes. Couple Dark Arbok, Meowth. This is Japanese Blaine's Moltres. So we got a couple Lugias here. Couple of interesting other cards. Another Nidoqueen. I need to make sure that these do not get stuck onto stuff that is like... Yeah, so these cards need to be... I need to get a ton of protection for them. It's going to cost a lot of money. It's going to cost a lot. Big collection, big problems. Here, let's look at these guys some. So like I said, I don't even take some of these things out of their packs. So, you know, you've got like some Hitmonlees, Hitmonchan. Now you have these Machamps. These all came in, this is like the most printed card out there. Then you got another Hypno, Wigglytuff. I wonder if any of these, Chansey, I wonder if any of these cards are even still in like, they're even still in the Pokemon universe. See, there's another one. Unopened Fossil, first edition. This thing is like God knows how many years old. It's crazy. And I have a ton more than just this. This is one box. Like I said, I have the original base set like 15 times over, and that's the complete base set 15 times over. What I actually have between here and up north, I'm originally from New York. I've got all my stuff. My mom's holding on to a bunch of my stuff because I just have too much of it to be able to handle at my own place. And plus I like to keep things spread out. It's like, yeah, I've got probably 100,000 plus Pokemon cards from across all of their print runs. But let's look into something here. Right now, the reason for this video is because I want to make sure that when I say something, it's not being said out of a place where I'm looking or chasing a fast buck. I've been in this since the beginning. Like the very beginning. I've spent hundreds and thousands of dollars on these cardboard. Like, it's crazy. And, you know, that's not to say a lot of other people didn't either. A lot of people spent a lot of money. Pokemon has been one of the most successful brands in history, period. It's amazing. I think it's really cool. Because there are worse things that you could be putting your money into. There are worse things that you could be doing. I'll pick that up, and it's just a side up. But yeah, you know, it's really wild. So see, like the shadowless cards that I've got. I've got shadowless Ivysaur, Chameleon, War Turtle. So you can tell that they're shadowless. If you look at the border, you don't see any kind of like shadow. See if look under the HP, and you can also see that the HP is more thin. But between where it says turtle Pokemon length 3 feet 3 inches, weight 50 pounds, between that and the photo of the Pokemon, you see that there's absolutely no darkness under it. Meanwhile, say you take this over here, you can see that there's a dark shadow underneath it. This first edition, which needs to be honestly thrown into a sleeve. Oops. This is actually one of the original ones that I pulled from my deck. I used to have a first edition Aerodactyl and a first edition Moltres, and I pulled both of them out of the same pack. It was 2 chase cards in 1 pack. Crazy. That was back in the day. Unfortunately, I was a little kid that was stupid, and I basically traded them. I have a first edition Moltres and a first edition Aerodactyl somewhere. It's really difficult to keep track of all of your cards when you have this many. So we make do with what we can. Inside of these binders are even more cards, and a lot, and you know, it's got basically the entire set again inside there. Politoed. And people like that one for some reason. I don't know why. It's in good condition. Then you've got some gym trainer cards. Misty's Gyarados, Japanese edition. I think that's Japanese. Then you have Giovanni's Gyarados, Giovanni's Nido Rhino, or Nido King. What am I? That is definitely not Nido Rhino. That's Nido King. But yeah, Giovanni's stuff. Another Seadra. See, if you compare this to the other cards that they make these days, the new cards are cool, but these just have a whole different feel to them. A completely different type of art, a completely different type of, thing. These Charizards are an amazing print run. I honestly think that these are the best one. I need to buy a first edition one. That's gonna cost some money. Probably like $8,000 or something to buy. But I mean, if I can get something amassed like this, I really shouldn't be complaining. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, these are like mid-tier rare. They are more rare because they're no longer in production and they're 25 plus years old and well preserved. They won't make PSA 10 though, because their print run had a scratch that would affect all the cards in their deck. You can see it. You can see what I'm talking about right there. Scratch right on the hollow foil. Yeah. This one I actually pulled when I unboxed it. You can still see a little scratch over it right on there. And that's why that's not PSA 10. Overall, these are amazing cards, and honestly, this is a freaking amazing collection, and I've kind of really outdone myself with this. This is what happens when you get someone with money who still likes Pokemon. You get this. Now, of course, I'm nothing compared to these guys like Jake Paul or Alpha Investments. Those guys are in another tier. They're bigger than me, and they're really, 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 they do what they want in this space. Olaf Carlson Lee as well. That's another guy. Some of them don't have channels. Some of them do. That, you know, originally I was never going to make a Pokemon channel. I was never going to do it. I was going to focus in on my other businesses and stuff. And there's a long story about the turning point that caused that to materialize. Some of these cards I purchased rough, as you can see with this Kadabra. I don't care if they're I don't care about the condition of old cards. If they are Pokemon cards from back in the day, even if they are in like that raw of a condition, I'll still buy them. They'll be cheap, but I'll still buy them because they're cool. I like them. I just like them. You know, it's about money, but it's also not just about money. It's also because I genuinely like this stuff. And it's not like I'm trying to, you know, it's not like I'm trying to do anything that would damage the market or whatever. I'm coming in and I've got this software platform that I'm developing, and it's basically going to allow people to do e-commerce arbitrage. And the e-commerce stuff, you know, it's great for flippers, and I know I ride flippers hard in some videos, but they just need to have some better tools in order to reduce their cost basis. And haggling is a waste of time. What you really have to do is you have to work from point of origin. If you're flipping Pokemon product, you can't flip this kind of stuff, what I'm showing you here. It's not effective, it's not scalable. Yeah, you can flip it, but you're leaving so much on the table when you do that. And you're also kind of ripping off whoever you buy it from. So, I mean, if someone wants to sell me their old Pokemon cards for like $500 and it turns out to be like, if it turns out to be like this, for example, if someone were to buy all this for $500, they would be immediately elite tier status. If I were to sell all these cards, it would probably come out to somewhere in the neighborhood of 30,000 or so, just all these. And that's because it's really hard to come by and build a collection like this, graded or not. From this kind of tier, it's a whole different ball game. But honestly, I would never sell. I've never actually sold a Pokemon card in my life, and I don't intend to start doing so now. And I'm frankly I'm usually on the buy side. If someone gave me an absurd amount of money, yeah, I would probably say, sure, I'll sell something. And I've had people sit down, they've given me offers and stuff, but I just looked at them and their offers weren't that great. And this is also it's not just an asset, it's also more significant than that. And I just said, no, I'll pass. I don't need the money. And that's the other thing too. If you're going to sell any kind of collectible that you own, never sell when you need the money, because you will get ripped off. It does not matter what it doesn't matter. It has to be a real emergency if you're going to sell stuff like this. So, just my 2 cents there thrown in. These cards are pretty amazing. I'm going to make a lot of video and footage of these because people are probably going to want to see, them close up and just look at them. And I might do that with some videos where I put up where I show 10 of them at a time without any commentary, just sort of showing through where they can look at them, so where they don't have to pause the video every 10 seconds, because that's work. When you're doom scrolling, the whole idea is to not do work. So that's pretty much it. So hey, like always, like and subscribe, leave comments, ask me what you want to see, and I will deliver.